After Christian presence in the Holy Land ended on June 16, 1291, the Templars returned to Europe. Even though their original purpose protecting European pilgrims had ceased to exist, they kept on strengthening their power base, increasing their number of soldiers and amassing ever greater fortunes. But from this date onward, events began to turn against the Templars. While their numbers and their wealth were on the rise, their greed, arrogance, and tyranny increased accordingly. By now, the Knights Templar had grown apart from the Catholic Church's teachings, beliefs, and practices. In general, no longer did any European have anything to say in their favor. In France, expressions like "to drink like a Templar" were common and widespread. In Germany, Tempelhaus meant whorehouse, and if anyone acted in an unacceptably arrogant way, he was said to be proud as a Templar. The kingdoms of Europe, especially France, were angered by the Templars' political intrigues and shadowy designs. After having plenty of opportunities to get acquainted with them, people started to realize that their order was not comprised of genuinely religious knights. Finally, in 1307, Philip the Fair, King of France, and Pope Clement V realized that the Templars were seeking to change not only Europe's religious landscape but its political balance as well. In October 1307, they moved in on the Templars with the view of liquidating this decadent, treacherous order. Modest missionaries, fighting for Christianity, this was how the Templars presented themselves to the ordinary people. Undeservedly, they were perceived to be saints of great virtue, mentors of Christianity, devoted to aiding the poor and the needy. It's amazing that they managed to create such a positive image while leading lives contrary to Christian teachings and, on the way, acquiring status and wealth through donations, trade, banking, and even looting. The few who discovered their true identity did not dare to speak out against this powerful order. Philip, King of France, feared the dangers their financial strength could create for him. The Templars became increasingly confident and impertinent in their practices and in disseminating their teachings, trusting in the unjustifiably positive image they had managed to create throughout society. This, in turn, led to an increase in the numbers who witnessed their perversion and began to whisper about it. Whatever might the Templars be doing behind the closed doors of their palaces? The Knights' avarice, inhumanity, greed, and zeal, already well known, awakened the curiosity of the locals, the clergy, and the monarchy. The Papacy was almost certain that this group, which it could no longer control, was living an irreligious life and abusing the privileges it had granted them. Rumors and complaints circulated about the Templars. There were increasingly credible accusations that they engaged in forbidden practices and other wrongdoing, and that was why they operated under strict secrecy. People had begun to whisper of secret rites performed in their palaces, rituals of Satanist worship, and various immoral relationships. All these rumors were combined with actual fact what servants in Templar palaces and the people living in the vicinity of them witnessed and reported. The Papacy found itself in a predicament, not knowing what to do. Clement V, elected Pope in 1305, was trying to calculate the damage to Christianity, and therefore, to the Vatican, and how to minimize its effects. At the same time, he had to put an end to constant pressure from regional dioceses and the King of France. Meanwhile, in Cyprus, Jacques de Molay, leader of the Templars, was making preparations for war. As the order had not given up hope to go back in the Middle East, he was recalled to France and ordered by the Pope to investigate these allegations. All this, however, was unacceptable to the French king. He quickly passed a new law, under which he had the Templars arrested. On October 13, 1309, they were accused in the courts with the charges of the devil worship, magic, homosexuality, and many other accusations.